Hey guys, welcome back to the course. So in this group of lectures, I want to discuss platforms that some marketers refer to as emerging markets and what would be worth trying out in that group itself. Now, what exactly do I mean by an emerging market? Well, it's basically a platform that marketers have not completely saturated yet. There's still room for someone like you to jump in and get some form of results. And usually you can do it at a much higher ROI. Less effort, more return. Why? Well, because fewer people are in the pool. Now, specifically here, I want to talk about two emerging markets, and that's Snapchat and Instagram. Now, you might be thinking, how are these two massive platforms that I've heard of for years now still emerging? Yes, I know you're right. Snapchat and Instagram are massive platforms, but many marketers are still trying to figure out how exactly to use them to appeal to their audience. What would you consider a mature market? Well, probably something like Google AdWords or Facebook marketing. Those have been around long enough that their ad platforms are well developed, they're well understood, and they're well utilized. Everybody knows how to use those. Snapchat, for instance, as we're speaking now, is still rolling out their first iteration of their marketing platform. Instagram, they're kind of incorporated into Facebook and they're a little bit more mature, but people still have no idea how to market on there. Now, finding success isn't always straightforward, so it helps to first understand the users on the platform and why they use the platforms in the first place. Now, both of those platforms, Snapchat and Instagram, are essentially for posting videos and photos. Snapchat has over 150 million daily users, mostly tweens, and Instagram now has a user base of something like 700 million. There's a pretty contentious rivalry between the two. In my opinion, Instagram is winning pretty easily. Now, yes, I know these are both massive, but there's one thing that's driving the emergingness of these two platforms, and that's their demographics. Snapchat users are young, like I said, tweens, most of them like Twilight. 2/3 of its users are under 25 years old. Now, meanwhile, about 60% of Instagram users are under 30, with 1/3 of its users in their 30s and 40s, so Instagram is not as young as Snapchat, but still, they have plenty of younger users in it. So in that sense, it's emerging in two different ways. It's emerging because these are younger, more impressionable consumers, especially ones that didn't necessarily grow up with Facebook or the platforms that we are all used to. And then also, they're just not saturated yet. Their ad platforms are not mature. Therefore, people are still trying to figure out what works. People on the platforms don't expect ads as much. Therefore, they're usually more susceptible to them. So which platform is worth trying? Well, both are actually promising if your business caters to a younger audience and you're interested in trying some new ways to reach them. And then the second if is if your business could take advantage of a purely visual platform where all you post are pictures and videos. Now, not every business out there can make videos and photos work. Plumbing services are not gonna have a lot of success because what are you gonna share? But if you're a health food store, yeah, you can show photos of your food in a beautiful pasture and then people being happy and healthy. That naturally lends itself to video and photo more easily. Now, it's obviously a spectrum. It's not yes or no, you can't do video slash photos, but some are just going to be easier than others. I generally say try it out unless you know for a fact that your audience just isn't on these platforms. Try it out. It doesn't take a lot of effort. That's why we have it in the Get Your 100 section, because it doesn't take a lot to try this out, and easily within a week or so, you'll figure out if it's working. Now, if your audience skews older, like 40s and up, well, you might do better concentrating on other channels. And if you find it challenging to come up with visual ideas for the kind of marketing that you want to do, maybe a channel that focuses on written posts and articles would probably, be a little more appropriate. But if you want to learn more about Snapchat and Instagram, well, we need to dive into each platform and get to know them a little bit better. We'll start in our next lecture with the younger of the two, Snappy Snapchat. All right, see you then.